Hello, and my name is Coach Maddie, and I'm coming at you with some weight loss tips and tricks today. And I want to share with you 3 simple things that you can implement immediately into your nutrition without taking away any foods that are going to make you lose weight immediately. Now, these 3 things are pretty uncommon to hear about. I don't really hear a lot of people talking about these things. And they're pretty much the easiest 3 things to start with before you start cutting out food or decreasing quantities and stuff like that. So let's dive in. So the first tip I want to tell you is do not eat when you are standing up. Okay, going forward, every bite of food that you're going to eat, you must not be standing up, okay? Why? Because normally standing up means you're multitasking and you're doing something else, or you're not focusing, or you're not present, and you're just nibbling, right? So an example of standing up and eating would be if you're at a party and you're by the snack bar and you're just leaning on the counter, chatting with somebody, and you're picking at the food. You're standing, you're picking. Right? Another example would be if you're cooking dinner for the family and you're nibbling and tasting while you're cooking, you're cutting up some carrots, you have a bite here, bite there, and then before you know it, you've eaten dinner before you've eaten dinner, right? So going forward, making sure you are always sitting when you are eating, okay? It's going to make you a lot more aware of a lot of the mindless nibbling of things that you haven't been paying attention to. And that's going to be one of the really, really easy ways to start to cut your calories without putting rules around your food, right? I haven't said cut what you're eating or decrease what you're eating. Just simply eat whatever you want still. Eat just like you've been eating and what you've been eating. Just make sure you are sitting down. Now, rule number 2, you must not drive and eat, okay? Now, this is obviously, there's exceptions to this if you're in a big rush or something has happened and you don't have time and you have to eat in the car. However, I would strongly suggest you do not eat in the car. You either eat before you get into the car or you eat after you get out of the car, okay? The reason for this is because, again, we are perpetuating in our mind that food is done with another task. And if we keep that strong connection, eating doesn't become an event. Right? It becomes a side effect of something. And then you're always going to want food with things, right? Food with this, food while doing this. And if we can break that connection, food is food time, food is fuel, food is for energy, food is for fully enjoying that moment in every bite, being present. Whereas, and we add it to things like while we're driving, we're paying attention to the road, we're adjusting the radio, maybe we're listening to a podcast, and we're sipping and chewing at the same time. And it is not going to allow our brain to register, that, hey, you're full, right? You're not paying attention to when you're eating. You're not paying attention to when you're eating. So then you're not going to register that you're full, right? You ever eat and you're not satisfied? It is because you didn't pay attention to when you eat. You weren't present when you were eating. Your mind was either split on things to do next, things you were currently doing, or it was completely distracted by what was going on around you and you were just eating just to eat. Okay, so no standing and no eating in the car. Okay, going forward, very easy. You can do that today. Now, the last thing that the last tip I kind of want to explain to you is no eating in front of a computer or in front of a TV. Okay, now hear me out on this one. So a lot of the times I hear women, they tend to overeat or struggle staying on track either when they get home from work, so later on at night because they finally get to unwind and they had a rough day, either during the day because they have energy crashes, or really great during the week and they kind of go off track on the weekend. Now, the reason that you're actually going off track, there are many reasons, but in this context, it's because you're allowing yourself to eat those things in front of a screen. And that is similar to what is happening when you're driving, right? You've got the road as your screen. Now this is kind of your screen with the TV. And it's distracting you. You're not present when you're eating. That's why you can go through a full bag of chips sitting on the couch watching a movie and not even know you did it and not even be full and go for another one, right? And then go for the ice cream. It is simply because you weren't present. So anything that you want to eat. So let's say you do normally eat cookies at night, or maybe you don't. Maybe you normally just, you go and have freaking carrots at night and you're healthy. Whatever, healthy versus unhealthy, irrelevant. Whatever it is that you do where it's mindless or emotional or stress related or bored related, where you know you're adding extra food that you don't need, you just want, then you can say, I'm still allowed to eat whatever I want, but I have to go sit down at my table and eat it just like that in silence. And let me tell you, it's pretty boring. Eating alone in silence is pretty boring, and you're actually most likely not even going to want to continue to do it. So not only does it remove restriction from your brain because you're not saying you can't have it, it's also going to make you realize you don't actually want it. And by default, you're going to stop wanting it and stop eating it, or just by default, you're going to be eating a whole lot less of it. So this is a great way to catch where you've been overeating your calories without even knowing it. Because at the end of the day, if you are struggling to lose weight, it just means you're eating too much. And unhealthy versus healthy is not important right now. It's not the thing, right? If you're eating all healthy food and too many calories, you still won't lose weight, right? So there's something going on where you're getting calories you didn't know, where you're mindlessly nibbling, where your emotions are attached to food, or you're distracted while you eat, so you're not realizing what you're doing or how much you're taking in. And these are 3 simple tricks that you can do tonight. No standing and eating. Don't eat in the car, and don't eat in front of screens. You will be fully present for every bite. Your brain will register that you are full much quicker. And then you will realize, where were you getting these extra calories that you didn't even know, and watch the scale drop. It's pretty amazing. Just by being more present and putting a few little boundaries and restrictions on how you eat, you don't even need to change what you're eating. So start with that. And if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on that bell notification. You can even head over to www.fitqueen.com for more information if you want to learn the Fit Queen way of weight loss. But thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.